Today I hope to get the engine back in this Genesis. I have cleaned the hull out as good as I can. And so fuel pump's back in, all that secure. I did rebuild the jet pump. The bearings were almost completely shot. They were in bad shape. It was hard to turn. So I had a set of bearings that I had already ordered for a Virage, and I never used them because they were, when I took the pump out, they were good. So I had that set of bearings. So, and I'm not going to rehash everything about these pumps. It's pretty self-explanatory. I just punched the old bearings out. That you can't see that sleeve in there, but there's a sleeve in there that you can move to the side. And you stick something in there and just go around it with a hammer and knock the bearing out of one side, and then flip it over, knock it out of the other side. And after I got the bearings out, I cleaned this up real good and went ahead and put the bearings in the freezer, get the bearings cold. And then once I got this cleaned up, I left the bearings in the freezer for about two or 3 hours. And then I put this in the oven on 180 degrees, left it in the oven for about 30 minutes or so, just so this will get heated up good, and put the bearings in it. And I didn't have to hardly hit it any with a hammer, just very lightly, and they just fell right in place. And so these, weirdly enough, bearing goes in this side, and then you turn it over and put the sleeve in it, and then put a bearing on this side, and then two oil seals go in on top of each other. And so it's kind of strange how that works, but that's how it goes. And so once that goes in, the pin slides in this side, and then the impeller screws on. And almost have to have one of these little tools to fit in it. And then we'll get that screwed on. That's on and torqued down, so that will work. And I've already checked the clearance on the impeller to the wear ring, and I've got it is not only within spec, but it is perfect. So it should have good thrust. Before I put the engine in, I'm going to get this negative battery cable connected to the ground before I put it in. It's just a lot easier to do it before you put it in, and you can get it good and clean. And I'm going to actually file that mating surface right here with a file so that I'll get good battery connection. Engine's in with the help of a hoist, and I already have put the drive shaft in. The shims I never moved. They were already in place, so I did not have to realign the engine. Drive shaft is almost perfect, if not perfect. I'm hooking all the wires up now, and wanted to show you this one wire right here that was unplugged. Well, I'm plugging it all back up, but I had a ski that was not running. The display said that there was a sensor malfunction, and I dug around and finally found that this was just hanging down in here, and it actually goes to the bottom of this. And so I should have hooked it up as I was installing the engine, because it is so hard to get to. So I'm having to take the breather mounting bracket off, install this, and then put it back together. And I still use old school tools. That thing right there is handy. I do have a drill, but I like using these every now and then. I cleaned all of the leads on the solenoid and every terminal where it goes on the battery. Now I'm in the process of cleaning up all the parts that's going to go in. They're pretty bad looking, but I've got the jet nozzle and reverse gate cleaned up, painted, and looks pretty good. I went ahead and installed the jet pump. I believe that probably was the initial cause of failure that put that ski out of commission. I think the impeller got stuck in the wear ring and wouldn't let the engine turn over, and the owner thought that the engine locked up, so he started dismantling the engine without taking the jet pump off first. But sometime between him taking that apart, or could have even been before that, the fuel pressure regulator fell off in the gas tank. I've got another video on how to secure that the proper way. And also I found that 2 magnets were loose from the flywheel. That would have caused no voltage when it was trying to crank. So that definitely wouldn't have ran with 2 magnets gone. And it ate the stator up. So I had a flywheel and a stator in my shop that I put in. And so what else? The TPS was broken into pieces and was in a Ziploc bag. I have already uploaded a video on how to properly fix that. And so I'm going to do another video after this one. I'll probably upload it probably in about 2 weeks, of going through all of the electrical components and testing them with an ohm meter or a voltmeter, so you'll know how to diagnose. And probably any ski, this will help you on any ski, but definitely the Polaris Ficht, whether it's a Genesis or Virage, TXI, MSX, any of those. So stator testing, fuel ground testing, injector signal coils testing, and then injector signal coil testing, and then plug wires. So I'll get that on another video. Probably the next video I upload, which will be probably in a week or 2, I'm hoping that we can fire this engine up, take it to the lake, and put it on the water, and or at least tie it down to the trailer, crank it up in the water, and let it run for a while with a heat thermometer, and make sure it's not overheating. So I'll make a video on that. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Engine's installed finally, and it will turn over. So anyway, we'll catch you on the next video. Thank you for taking this journey with me.